The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 is a modern mystery that has captivated the world since it vanished on March 8, 2014. The Boeing 777-200ER, carrying 239 passengers and crew, was en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing when it lost contact with air traffic control and disappeared from radar. Despite extensive search efforts, the fate of the aircraft and its occupants remains unresolved. This video delves deeply into the timeline of the event, the exhaustive search efforts, and the myriad theories that have emerged over the years. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 departed from Kuala Lumpur International Airport at 0:41 Malaysia Standard Time on March 8, 2014, with an estimated arrival in Beijing at 6:30 China Standard Time. At 1:19 MYT, the flight crew made their final voice communication with air traffic control, acknowledging a handoff to Vietnamese air traffic control with the words, "Good night Malaysian 370. 2 minutes later, at 1:21 MYT, the aircraft vanished from ATC radar over the South China Sea, just north of waypoint Igari. However, the Malaysian military radar continued to track the aircraft, noting that it deviated significantly from its flight path, turned westward, crossed the Malay Peninsula, and eventually disappeared from radar coverage at 2:22 MYT over the Andaman Sea, approximately 200 nautical miles northwest of Penang Island. The immediate response to the disappearance involved a search operation in the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand, where the aircraft was last detected. On March 9th, the search radius expanded dramatically after radar data from the Malaysian military indicated that the aircraft had turned west and flown over the Andaman Sea. Numerous countries, including Malaysia, China, Vietnam, and the United States, contributed to the search effort, deploying more than 40 aircraft and 50 ships. Despite these efforts, initial searches yielded no conclusive evidence. On March 15th, Malaysian Prime Minister Najib Razak announced that satellite data suggested the aircraft's final position was in the southern Indian Ocean, shifting the search focus to a remote area west of Australia. The search in the southern Indian Ocean became one of the largest and most expensive in aviation history. Australian authorities led the effort, utilizing advanced underwater search technology and vessels to scour the ocean floor. Despite covering a vast area, the search yielded no definitive wreckage of the aircraft. In July 2015, a flaperon from a Boeing 777 was discovered on Reunion Island, east of Madagascar. This debris was confirmed to be from Flight 370. Subsequent discoveries of other parts, including wing fragments and interior pieces, washed ashore on islands in the western Indian Ocean, further supporting the theory that the aircraft had crashed in this remote part of the ocean. One of the leading theories proposed by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau is a hypoxia event. This scenario suggests that the crew and passengers became incapacitated due to a loss of cabin pressure, causing hypoxia or oxygen deprivation. The aircraft, under autopilot control, would have continued to fly until it exhausted its fuel and crashed into the ocean. This theory is based on the consistent flight path the aircraft followed after deviating from its planned route and the absence of any distress signals. The ATSB's analysis of satellite data indicated that the aircraft made several automated handshakes with an Inmarsat satellite after losing contact with ATC. These handshakes suggest that the aircraft was still flying on autopilot, and the absence of manual inputs supports the hypoxia theory. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah was the pilot in command of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, which vanished on March 8, 2014, while en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Born on July 31, 1961, Zahari was an experienced and well-respected pilot with over 18,000 flight hours. He joined Malaysia Airlines in 1981 and had a solid reputation within the aviation community. On the fateful day, Captain Zahari was the senior officer on board, accompanied by First Officer Fariq Abdul Hamid. Zahari was known for his professionalism, skill, and passion for flying. He was also an avid flight simulator enthusiast, often spending time on his home-built simulator, which became a focal point in the investigation. One of the most widely discussed theories is that Zahari deliberately took the aircraft off course in a planned act of suicide. Proponents of this theory point to several factors. Investigators found that Zahari's flight simulator at home contained routes over the southern Indian Ocean, which closely resembled the suspected flight path of MH370. There were unverified claims of personal issues Zahari might have been facing, including marital problems, although his family and friends have consistently refuted these claims. The theory suggests that Zahari may have depressurized the cabin to incapacitate passengers and crew before continuing the flight to a remote location. Another theory suggests that Zahari was forced to divert the plane due to a hijacking. This theory posits that unknown hijackers could have taken control of the aircraft, compelling Zahari to alter the course. However, there is no concrete evidence to support this theory. Some theories propose that a sudden mechanical failure or catastrophic event might have incapacitated the crew, including Zahari. This scenario suggests that the aircraft continued on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean. There are speculations that external interference, such as cyber hijacking or remote control takeover, could have been responsible. This theory suggests that Zahari might have been attempting to regain control or communicate the situation, but evidence is scarce. The official investigation, led by the Australian Transport Safety Bureau and Malaysian authorities, has not conclusively determined the cause of the disappearance. However, some key points include that the investigation did not find any definitive evidence proving that Zahari intentionally caused the disappearance of MH370. Zahari's behavioral patterns and psychological profile did not indicate any signs of suicidal tendencies or plans. Furthermore, there were no indications of mechanical failure or malfunctions that could solely explain the disappearance. Theories involving Captain Zahari remain contentious and speculative, with no consensus within the aviation community or among experts. Some pilots and aviation professionals believe in the possibility of deliberate action due to the unusual flight path and subsequent communication blackout. Others emphasize the need for more concrete evidence before drawing conclusions about Zahari's role. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah's role in the disappearance of MH370 continues to be a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. Despite various theories, the lack of definitive evidence leaves many questions unanswered. The mystery of MH370 remains one of the most perplexing in aviation history, and Captain Zahari's involvement, whether as a deliberate actor or an unfortunate victim, is central to understanding what might have happened on that tragic flight. Mechanical failure has also been considered, particularly the possibility of a catastrophic event that incapacitated the crew and passengers. However, the lack of debris found along the expected flight path and the evidence of the aircraft's prolonged flight after the last communication suggest that a sudden mechanical failure is unlikely. Numerous other theories have been proposed, ranging from the plausible to the conspiratorial. These include the aircraft being shot down, a fire or explosion on board, or an act of terrorism. However, none of these theories have been substantiated with concrete evidence. The initial search efforts for Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 began in the South China Sea and the Gulf of Thailand. The first few days saw intensive search and rescue operations conducted by Malaysia, Vietnam, and China, deploying numerous aircraft and ships to scour the last known area of the aircraft. The search area quickly expanded when radar data suggested that the aircraft had turned westward and crossed the Malay Peninsula, potentially heading towards the Andaman Sea. In the immediate aftermath of the disappearance, the Kuala Lumpur Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Center was activated, and search efforts were coordinated with multiple agencies and neighboring countries. Over 40 aircraft and 50 ships from several nations, including the United States, Australia, Thailand, and Indonesia, were involved in the initial search phase. The search and rescue efforts saw unprecedented international collaboration. The multinational search teams used a combination of satellite imagery, maritime patrols, and aerial reconnaissance to locate the missing aircraft. China deployed several ships and aircraft, including the Haishun 01, a large maritime patrol vessel, which played a significant role in the search efforts. The search shifted to the southern Indian Ocean after satellite data from Inmarsat suggested the aircraft had flown south for several hours after losing contact with ATC. This marked a significant turning point in the search operations, as the focus moved to a remote and vast area west of Australia. Inmarsat, a British satellite telecommunications company, played a crucial role in redirecting the search efforts. By analyzing hourly satellite handshakes, or signals exchanged between the aircraft and the satellite, Inmarsat determined that Flight 370 had followed a southern arc over the Indian Ocean. This analysis led to the conclusion that the aircraft had likely ended its flight in the southern Indian Ocean, far from any landmass. The search effort in the southern Indian Ocean utilized some of the most advanced technology available at the time. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau led the underwater search operations, employing autonomous underwater vehicles and sonar-equipped vessels to map the ocean floor. These technologies were critical in scanning the vast and rugged underwater terrain for any signs of the aircraft. The search in the southern Indian Ocean became one of the largest and most expensive search operations in aviation history. The ATSB coordinated the underwater search, focusing on an area spanning thousands of square kilometers. The search area was defined based on the final satellite communications and included regions with depths reaching up to 6,000 meters. The initial phase of the search involved aerial reconnaissance and surface vessel patrols, looking for any floating debris. The remoteness of the search area posed significant logistical challenges, requiring long transit times for search vessels and aircraft from their bases. The underwater search operations were divided into several phases. The first phase involved a bathymetric survey to map the ocean floor, providing detailed topographic information necessary for the subsequent detailed sonar search. The bathymetric survey revealed a complex and mountainous underwater landscape, making the search even more challenging. The next phase involved deploying deep-tow sonar and AUVs equipped with side-scan sonar to detect debris on the seabed. These technologies could capture high-resolution images of the ocean floor, helping identify any anomalies that could indicate wreckage. The discovery of debris from Flight 370 began in July 2015, when a flaperon was found on Reunion Island, east of Madagascar. This piece of debris was confirmed to be from a Boeing 777, and later identified as part of Flight 370. This discovery provided the first tangible evidence of the aircraft's fate and helped confirm the theory that the aircraft had crashed into the southern Indian Ocean. Following the discovery of the flaperon, other pieces of debris were found on islands in the western Indian Ocean, including parts of the aircraft's interior and wing fragments. These discoveries, while crucial in confirming the aircraft's fate, did not provide conclusive evidence about its final location or the cause of its disappearance. The discovery of debris had a significant impact on the search efforts. It provided critical information about the potential drift patterns of the debris, which were used to refine search areas. Oceanographic drift models were developed to backtrack the found debris to estimate the likely crash site. However, despite these efforts, the main wreckage of the aircraft has not been located. The search for Flight 370 involved unprecedented international cooperation. Countries including Australia, the United States, China, and several European nations contributed resources, expertise, and technology. The search operations were coordinated by the Joint Agency Coordination Center based in Australia. The collaborative effort was crucial in covering the vast search area and utilizing the best available technology and expertise. The search for MH370 faced numerous challenges and difficulties, primarily due to the vast and remote nature of the search area. The southern Indian Ocean is one of the most isolated and inhospitable regions on Earth, with extreme depths, rough seas, and unpredictable weather conditions. These factors significantly hampered search operations and posed logistical challenges for the deployment and coordination of search assets. The initial lack of precise information about the aircraft's flight path and final location further complicated the search efforts. The vast search area, combined with the uncertainty of the aircraft's exact route, required extensive resources and time to cover. The search teams had to rely on a combination of satellite data analysis, oceanographic drift modeling, and underwater sonar mapping to narrow down the search zones. Another major challenge was the complexity of the ocean floor in the search area. The bathymetric surveys revealed a rugged and mountainous seabed, with numerous underwater ridges, valleys, and trenches. This complex topography made it difficult to identify potential debris sites and required the use of advanced sonar and imaging technologies to capture detailed images of the ocean floor. The international nature of the search efforts also posed coordination challenges. Ensuring seamless communication and collaboration among the various countries and agencies involved required meticulous planning and coordination. Despite these challenges, the multinational search teams worked tirelessly to locate the missing aircraft and provide answers to the families of the passengers and crew. In January 2018, a private company named Ocean Infinity launched a new search for MH370. Ocean Infinity's search operation used a fleet of autonomous underwater vehicles equipped with advanced sonar technology to scan the seabed for wreckage. The company operated on a no-find, no-fee basis, meaning they would only receive payment if they successfully located the aircraft. Ocean Infinity's search efforts covered a new area identified as the Priority Search Area, based on revised drift modeling and satellite data analysis. The search operation lasted for several months and covered over 120,000 square kilometers of the ocean floor. Despite the extensive search efforts and the use of cutting-edge technology, Ocean Infinity was unable to locate any definitive wreckage of MH370. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 had a profound impact on the aviation industry and led to significant changes in international aviation safety regulations. The mystery of MH370 highlighted the need for improved aircraft tracking and communication systems to prevent similar incidents in the future. One of the major changes resulting from the MH370 incident was the implementation of enhanced aircraft tracking systems. The International Civil Aviation Organization introduced new standards requiring aircraft to report their position every 15 minutes during normal operations and every minute during emergency situations. These new tracking standards aim to ensure that the location of an aircraft is always known, even in remote and oceanic regions. The disappearance of MH370 also prompted improvements in aircraft communication systems. The introduction of new satellite communication technologies, such as the Global Aeronautical Distress and Safety System, aims to enhance real-time communication between aircraft and ground control. These systems provide continuous tracking and allow for immediate alerts in case of deviations from planned flight paths. The investigation into the disappearance of MH370 led to several safety recommendations to prevent similar incidents in the future. These recommendations include the mandatory installation of tamper-proof flight data recorders with extended battery life, improved cockpit security measures, and enhanced crew training for handling in-flight emergencies. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 remains one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history. Despite extensive search efforts and numerous theories, the definitive cause and location of the crash remain unknown. The case has led to significant changes in international aviation safety regulations, including enhanced tracking of aircraft and improvements in communication systems. The mystery of Flight 370 continues to captivate and perplex investigators, aviation experts, and the public alike, with the hope that one day, the truth will emerge from the depths of the ocean.